Welcome to the Business of Hearing podcast, the podcast for high-performing hearing care clinics that want to learn the strategies, ideas, and truths behind some of the smartest private practice clinics in the world. Now, time for your hosts, Phil M. Jones and Ollie Luke.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Business of Hearing podcast. And what's interesting is today we're going to be talking a little bit about money. More importantly, about how you can find more of it within your existing practice. As we share 3 key ways that you can maximize revenue opportunities for little to no expense just by doing a few more of the right things. And I don't know about you, but the 2020 year has been challenging for many clinics. Cash flow has been pressed, and finding liquidity from hidden areas of your organization is something that can keep the wheels turning, keep you serving patients the way that is so important to you. So I think low-cost, no-cost marketing strategies are key. Yet quite often, the strategies that many people lean towards is how do I find new patients, new patients, new patients? Yet a sad reality is the quantity of people that are actually looking to buy what you're selling right now might not be as much as what you think it is. So Ollie, what are some of the things that we see in terms of the quantity of people who are actually in the marketplace hunting to buy hearing aids? What do you see in that space?
It's interesting because there seems to be this belief that in any town, there's thousands of people at every one moment searching for hearing aids. And it's not true. We see in reasonable sized cities that 50 searches a month to 100 searches a month of people searching hearing aids. And keep in mind every variation of hearing aids: cheap hearing aids, free hearing aids, hearing aid repairs. Like the actual number of people making a search towards, I want to buy hearing aids, where do I go locally? They don't exist.
Yeah, it is a trickle of a stream as opposed to the Amazon River, right? Is what we're really looking to be able to deal with. So this belief that everybody else is getting all these easy inquiries and you're not getting them is a myth that is worth busting. Yet we still need revenue and we still need to understand where does that come from. So what's interesting when we talk about revenue generation today is it isn't necessarily focused in any way, shape or form on finding brand new customers in a traditional way. It's about saying, how do we use what we've got or what's right in front of us to be able to generate revenue? So first thing that we can talk towards that is revenue generating that many people either fail to focus on or just execute badly is that area of upgrading their existing patients. Why are upgrades such an important point? And what have we learned through helping people execute upgrade campaigns effectively in this current time period, Ollie?
Yeah, and we've spoken about upgrade campaigns before, and we've talked about being a manufacturer show pony for upgrade campaigns. The big issue we see is the lack of segmentation on database. That's a big one. Everybody just has people lumped together. They don't know where they're up to. It's a huge mess. They don't do anything with them. The second big mistake that we see is the campaigns they run, when they do it, are sporadic. They make no real sense of why that person should take an action. They're just talking about new technology with no incentive or reason why somebody should take that next step. And then I suppose the third big issue that we see with upgrade campaigns, it's literally they send a mailer and you ask them, has the mailer landed? I don't know, but no one called. It's that kind of response. There's no kind of campaign plan. It's not a campaign. It's a piece of paper in an envelope and I hope for the best. There's no follow-up. There's no emails. There's no phone call. There's no, has this person received it? Have they got any questions? What do we need to do to help them make a decision?
That classic, I've sent the upgrade mailer at 36 months or whatever it might be, and fingers crossed and hope for the best. Whereas what we can be doing instead is we can be more timely about this, right? And find a reason to talk to a specific user group full of people at a specific time where that message is aimed at that person. Because it isn't why people should upgrade, it's why you should upgrade at that given moment in time for what purposes are. And we talk about trying to find reasons to upgrade. The biggest barrier that people have towards upgrading their technology is typically, what do I do with the old ones? I paid $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 for these years ago, and you're now telling me I need to spend this sum of money again. What do I do with these old ones? And please don't tell me like use them or keep them as a spare, right? That would never fly in the motor industry. It would never fly, in fact, in any other industry, is to keep these as a spare. What you really want to be doing is to find a reason or a cause or something that can be done with those other devices. You know, we've seen so many intelligent things through like buyback campaigns, through through to the ability of being able to be part of beta tests, to help showcase new technology, be part of a trial that is going to be of some use back towards the industry as a whole. But the upgrade needs to come with a curiosity gap in there, right? Not certainty, something that says, I want you to try. And I think we miss a giant opportunity. I would say to every clinic right now is, if you've got 500 past patients, you could bet your bottom dollar that at least 50 of those at any given period of time should be wearing something new. And that is your job to figure out, how do you get them into something new and how do you make it count? And sometimes this is about looking at lifetime value of customers too. I was running a discussion with a clinic the other day, and I was talking to them about revenue over a 10-year period of time. And they'd never even considered that as a discussion before. See, if you take a 10-year period of time and somebody buys 1.5 set of hearing aids and your retail price point is $6,500, within 10 years, you've got $6,500. Yet you've done all of this service, all of these touch points, all of this maintenance, etc. And you had that money up front and you spent it right back a long time ago. You build a process right where upgrades are part of it. You talk to people like real human beings. It's possible in a 10-year period of time to get 3, 4, 5 transactions out of somebody. Let's say that the first transaction is $6,500, but the second one brings you a net margin of $5,500, and then $5,500, and then $5,500, and then $4,500 even. Even stripping out cost of goods of hearing devices over that period of time, what you're looking at is not a $4,000 product contribution over 10 years, but you're looking at like a $15,000 product contribution over that period of time. If you're smart enough to be able to say that I'm going to take my upgrade seriously, not sending the upgrade mailer, but like Ollie says, making sure the message is timely. It's for a specific user group full of people. It isn't one message once. It's a reason to, it's a follow-up email, it's a telephone call that comes in behind this. It's when you see them next that it's mentioned in your chart notes for you to be able to bring it up with that person, because helping progress them into new technology is a part of how you provide them an optimum consumer experience. So upgrades.
Two more things, just sorry, buddy. Two more things just to riff on that. The first one is, another little mistake I see is people sending an upgrade mailer, let's say after 4 years, and they've not done anything to communicate with that patient in that time. So it's a huge ask out of nowhere. Whereas if they did the work just to give, maybe it's a monthly newsletter, a strong communication channel, whatever that looks like, it means when the ask comes, the relationship's the biggest thing that's going to get that patient to feel confident to make a decision.
And I suppose the manufacturer rep on that, Ollie, the other day, and what they were saying was, I know you've run a really successful upgrade piece. Will you share it with us? And obviously we're always open to share successful campaigns, etc. But it is very rarely just the copy and the letter that triggers the result. What you're saying is the brand, the inherent communications, what that person thinks of you, i.e. who the sender of this is more important than the message. The messenger is more important than the message. And the message only works well as if the messenger is well trusted. And being somebody who stays in regular communication with your patient over a period of time. If you want a letter to work, send valuable letters over that period of time for all sorts of different things. Birthdays, anniversaries, key ask for them to be involved in stuff that has nothing to do with them buying from you. Come road test a new accessory when it shows up so you can write about it with authority, etc., without asking them to buy stuff. And then what happens is they feel like they belong to something, and then your ask comes across better.
And a little thing on the actual mailer as well, like a big lesson we've learned is many of the upgrade campaigns in this industry try to sell. Like they try to sell. And the aim of that should just be to initiate a conversation. That's all you're looking to do. Get that patient to raise their hand, show some interest, and come in. From there, you can do what you need to do. But most of the mailers do all the heavy lifting. They're like trying to get the mailer to almost sell that in 500 words. It's absolutely crazy.
So let's look at a second way we can generate some revenue. And I think we're talking about some form of service plan, extended care package that comes at the end of somebody's inclusive care period of time, right? So many products are sold with a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year care package of follow-up visits, of warranties, of loss of damage, etc. And those periods of time come towards an end, and many clinics find themselves in limbo land. So what could you do there to generate revenue, Ollie?
Yeah, like you said, many of us just continue to care and then feel a little bit awkward about it, or awkward about asking for money. And what many of our members are doing now is introducing extended care packages, where after that time is up, the line is in the sand. The patient knows about this because it's been spoken about from the outset. And then from there, you've almost got a package that a patient can step into. So let's say a few $100 per month, $365 a year, $1 a day, and from there you're covered. You've got your warranty, you've got if you need anything, we're here. If you need repairs, if you need cleanings, it's almost that safety blanket that's very easy for a patient to say yes and step into. And for pretty much every listener right now, you've probably got a list of, a few hundred patients that are out of warranty, that are in that limbo land, that a very simple email, mailer, phone call, however you need to get that message to them and invite them to step into this, would be a very easy decision for them to say yes to, yet they've never been presented with it. So there's just like cash sat in a list, which sounds like a very marketing-y, salesy term to use, but it's so true.
And what would I think about this as is how many times in a restaurant have you ordered a dessert because somebody came and said, what would you like for your dessert? Like, you wouldn't have proactively gone out of your way to get that thing, but the simple invitation at the right time means that sometimes you take them up on that offer. And it's nothing more than that, right? It's just letting them know that this is the point in the transaction they've got to, and here is the invitation for them to make. But avoid calling it an extended warranty. Do the work to productize this as an additional annual service, line item everything that people are getting for their money, include hearing tests, include what you do to be able to do preventative maintenance, how you'll assist them with warranty claims, in-house repairs, what you do to be able to replace domes, filters, etc. Build it out as the biggest honest bundle that you can so that people can see what they're getting for their money. And you'll be surprised that what you might even be able to do between this month and next month just to drive some incremental revenue through your organization. And third thing that is almost a no cost, low cost way of being able to drive revenue is focused on a way that you can find new patients in really quite a creative way. And what we're talking about is referral partnerships. Many people in the industry get a steady stream of referrals from physicians, right? From primary care physicians sending people across, or ENT arrangements as a referral partner that point people in your direction. When we talked about OTC, when we talked about online retail, we talked about their success is interrupting somebody's day who wasn't thinking about looking for hearing care help and then getting them to consider hearing care help because they helped identify a problem that they didn't have. You can do the same on a very local level by creating referral partnerships. My guess is within arm's reach of your clinic are dozens of other independent business owners that serve the exact type of person that you're looking to serve. I don't care whether it's a veterinarian, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a dentist, it could even be a local car garage. It could be all sorts of different types of businesses that they have a trusted communication channel out to their customer base and could be very open to accepting an offer from you for their customers. So if you want to be able to explore opportunities of reaching new people, do the work to be able to expand on relationships with people that have access to potential future patients and see what you can do to communicate and offer down that pipe of communication, meaning that you can open some doors. Now, that could well be some form of comprehensive hearing evaluation that they are marketing out towards their customer base on your behalf. It could even be that because of their association towards the veterinary clinic or whatever it might be, is that you'll allow them to be able to trial hearing aids on a no-risk basis for an extended period of time but just something that the other business or the other agency has the ability to be able to communicate to their customers with confidence. And you might find that that is a very, very, very viable way of you being able to start new conversations with people that you wouldn't have been able to reach in any other way. Ollie, where have you seen things like that work in other industries?
Oh, good point. So, you can see affiliate partners, like businesses are built on affiliate partners of good relationships who serve customers that they want, that they build relationships with, make it easy for them to do business with, and almost sit in that middle ground and push people in that direction. You see it from a localized perspective often, especially around the time of COVID, when businesses had to group together, especially small high street businesses, where the local takeaway is now partnering with the local liquor shop because they're going to do a combination here. And then when businesses pull together, it almost just creates this kind of bigger splash, and means that when one of them they market everyone. It's just kind of a win-win for everybody involved.
Yeah. And a simple way of being able to activate this is if you could think of 5 other businesses that you respect locally that serve your kind of patients. If you did the work to say that we're going to create a leaflet, a flyer that is coupon related, where what you went looking for is you asked those 5 other businesses to provide you with an offer that you could provide to your patients, that in turn is the 6th box is an offer that you can provide to theirs, and you go print up a few thousand of those leaflets, and then you introduce that leaflet to your patients and you ask the other 5 businesses to do the same. There could be this giant local value add where what you're doing is you're putting your brand in front of other people with an offer that is exclusive just towards that almost collaboration of other businesses locally. So think about referral partnerships broader and wider than just primary care or ENT, and start to understand how collaboration is what's going to allow you to be able to acquire new patients in a more proactive way, and not this I'm running a billboard or a radio ad and I'm crossing my fingers and hoping. What I'm doing is I'm starting more conversations with people who aren't thinking about using us because of the fact that I'm utilizing relationships that I can create in my communities. So we had 3 ways of generating new revenue, right, without any additional outside spend. And Ollie, they were what? Upgrades?
They were upgrades, extended care packages, and then local referral partners.
Okay. So there are 3 things that people can act upon straight away. And we want to try and keep it that way in the Business of Hearing podcast, is to provide you tangible, practical things that you can do, as well as sparking some thoughts and ideas in your own mind about how you run your practice. There are a million things that are in your control that will allow you to better outperform competition. So shift the focus away from what everybody else is up to and towards the action steps that you can be taking today that allow you to move your practice forward. Thanks for listening. Till next time, I've been Phil Jones.
And I've been Ollie Luke. Thank you very much.
And there we have it. That is a wrap. Thank you so much for listening to the Business of Hearing podcast. Make sure you subscribe to be the first to know when a new episode goes live. If you're feeling kind enough to share your experience and leave us a 5-star review, it would mean the world to us. And if you want to learn more, then go to www.orange-grey.com for article guides and trainings specifically written for high-performing hearing care businesses. We look forward to speaking to you again soon.